Hi everybody, Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a couple of fun projects to share with you. I've already shared these projects on my blog and on Instagram when the release went live, but I finally got around to editing the video footage and I thought you might like to see the process, even if it's slightly delayed. These are featuring products from the latest Garden Party collection from the Greetery, which I absolutely love. We're making lemonade today. We've got the Sippin Summer stamp set and the Trendy Tumbler with the oh so adorable summer silly straws. These are so cute. And we also have the large lemon stencil. But first we're going to start with Sippin Summer. This is kind of like a stamp layering stamp set. You can build your glass of lemonade. So I started with lemonade ink. I'm using all Pawsitively saturated inks for this glass of lemonade. So this is citron, which will be the rind of the lemon. Now you could probably customize this. If you didn't want to make lemonade, you could make pink lemonade. You could probably make these oranges or limes, maybe customize the drinks in different ways depending on what ink colors that you use. If I forget to mention an ink color or any supply, everything will be listed in my description box. Here I'm doing a little greenery. I think these are little leaves attached to the lemons, or maybe it's mint. Maybe it's mint. I'm just thinking now. Okay, so I use celery ink and Limalicious, I believe. And then this is the Trendy Tumbler die, which is so fun. I'm going to take this off camera and die cut it. So this will turn into a glass of lemonade. And then you have the little tumbler lid, which I did out of some, I don't know, it's kind of I'll forget the color, but I'll look it up. It's kind of a brown, looks like a wooden lid. My daughter actually has some of these glass tumblers at her house with the wooden lids and glass straws. She's very bougie. But these are the silly straws. I did the hello one. There's 3 different silly straws. One that says hello, one says happy, and one says summer. And they are just stinking adorable. Look at how cute that is when you slip it in that tumbler lid. And then now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the sides of my tumbler lid. I want to leave the middle open so you can slip the straw in it. I probably should have put the straw in it before I glued it. Might have been easier, but I didn't think ahead. So once it was glued down, I had a hard time getting that little hole open. So I used my little poker tool, kind of got it started for me, and then I could slip that silly straw in there without, wrecking anything. Okay, so this card's going to be pretty simple because the lemonade and the silly straw are really the star of the show. But I wanted to add a smidge more color. And when I want to add more color, but I don't want to compete with the composition, I like to do what I call a strip it up. I don't do it on every card, but I do it on a lot of cards. And you know what I say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you ever lacking mojo and you don't know what to do, you can't get the card to look right, try stripping it up. You would be surprised. It creates some movement. It's clean, but you can get some color in there. These are all Concord 9th cardstocks. I've got sorbet, grapefruit, nectar, and then some aquas like Oceanside, Peacock. I can't remember, but I'll have them all linked. Using my little mini guillotine to carefully trim off that excess. I have a white card base here. This is going to be a pretty flat card. I've been making flat cards lately because I'm actually trying to mail them, and I kind of sort of prefer a not so bulky card these days. I used to really bulk it up. And okay, I did put some very thin foam tape behind that tumbler. Now here's the Squeeze the Day stamp set. It's got a lot of great sentiments that go with like lemon things or lemonade. It's like pucker up. And I am going to use some Concord 9th inks. This first sentiment is inked up with nectar ink, and I'm just trying to tie these colors in with the strips down at the base. So everything kind of coordinates in color. Here we have sea glass for this larger sentiment. I'm just kind of stacking sentiments at this point. Why not? I was just having fun with it. And so this says, hope your day is filled with lemonade and laughter. It's a very simple card, but I love this tumbler of lemonade with that silly straw. So cute. Now we're moving on to the large lemon stencil. It's like a layering stencil. There's also a coordinating die. So after you blend it, you could die cut it, or you could die cut first and then blend, or you could just die cut solid color cardstock. But I wanted to try out this layering stencil. So I have a panel of white cardstock cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, using some Post-it tape to hold it down. Now the stencils are numbered. It is kind of easier if you go in order, but you don't have to go in order. I'm starting with number 1, and the stencils are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So as long as you line that up with the size of your panel, you're going to get it centered. Again, starting with lemonade, I'm using Simon's Stamp blender brushes. They're nice and large, and I'm making this first layer here pretty light. That way I can build up the intensity, and I don't want to start too dark. You want to build it up as you go. So here's stencil number 2, which is going to be more detail on that lemon. So first I use lemonade. Now on this second stencil, I'm pulling out the next shade darker, which is Sunbeam. Using the same blender brush. I don't have a brush for every single ink. I just have a brush for yellows. And then I'll rub it off on scratch paper to try to clean it. I've never actually washed my brushes, with soap and water. I'm way too lazy for that. So if you like to wash your brushes, can you come over here and clean my house? I need somebody to get down and clean the baseboards, especially in my kitchen cupboard. Somebody needs to wipe down my kitchen cupboard doors. Anywho, now we're on to the greenery of the lemon. Given that a light, what am I using here? Celery. And then I realized that what I'm blending is actually kind of the veining or the detail of the leaves. So I went back in with Limalicious to make that slightly darker, because that is going to be the detail of the leaves. Maybe I got out of order here. Could have been. Not sure. Here's the next stencil, which is the open area of the leaves. And I'm going to go back in with that celery. Again, I'm using the same brush, but I take some scratch paper. Here's what I do. And I just kind of twirl it around. That's my scientific term. And I'm just going over very light. So it's a combination of celery and Limalicious. And I love these colors. They're very summery. You've got the lemonade. You've got the Limalicious. It's citrusy. We're going to go with that. Now I decided to pull out a little mini blender brush and give it just a little bit more darkness in the corner. And that's what I call the gradient love. And that's really the magic. A little gradient love. Why not? Again, I'm just having fun. Okay. And then the next stencil is the little blooms for the little cluster here. And I pulled out blush ink. Again, these are Pawsitively saturated inks. And I'm just blending away. Now, some of the blooms I'm going to blend a little bit darker, and some I'm going to leave a little bit lighter. Now, in past videos, I haven't been talking about Hank the Tank, and there's no reason for it other than I just forgot to talk about him. But Hank the Tank is living his best summer life. It's been very, very hot here in Illinois, but he is jumping in the pond, and we throw the tennis ball, and he goes after and gets it. And then Frank, the cat, Frankie, he is in and out. We've got the little cat door. And now there's one more stencil with this that can add detail to the center of the blooms, but I decided to use the die set and die cut a few centers, and I'm just going to glue those on. And I die cut those with, I believe this is honeysuckle cardstock by Concord. So you can either blend the centers or you can die cut. You can do a mix and match. Another option would be to take that coordinating die and die cut this large lemon, pop it up on some pattern paper or on another card base, but I'm going to stamp a sentiment right onto the lemon. I'm using that Squeeze the Day stamp set, stamped it with VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and then I'm going to stamp a little sub-sentiment with blush ink, and this will kind of tie in to the blooms right above it. And it says, "It's your birthday, squeeze the day." I'm using a little tape runner on a white card base, and I'm going to pop this panel right onto it. So this is pretty much like a one-layer wonder, which I'm here for. I love it. I am going to add some embellishments. Just felt like I needed a little blingity bling in my life. So these are the Starshine embellishment mix by Simon's Stamp, and I'm just doing a little 3 on the bottom, a little 2 on the top. Bada boom, bada bing. Look at that large lemon. I want to do another one and die cut it. See how it looked dimensional. Check out the Greetery garden, what's it called? Garden Party Collection. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.